Seth Rollins reunites with Roman Reigns and forms the Shield again after the Vision's betrayal on WWE Raw. Are you absolutely serious right now? WWE just spent months telling us that Roman Reigns manipulated Seth Rollins into a fake alliance, that Roman planned to betray Seth from day one, that their partnership was built on lies and mutual distrust, and now they're expecting us to believe that after the Vision brutally attacked Seth on Raw and left him broken in the ring, Roman suddenly had a change of heart and decided, actually, I do care about Seth and we should reform the Shield. But here's what's going to make you absolutely furious: this wasn't a spontaneous decision born from Roman seeing his former brother getting destroyed. This was Roman's plan all along, because leaked text messages between Roman and Paul Heyman proved that Roman orchestrated the Vision's attack on Seth specifically to make Seth desperate enough to accept a Shield reunion on Roman's terms, where Roman gets to be the undisputed leader and Seth has to acknowledge him. I'm about to break down the most manipulative Shield reunion in history, reveal exactly how the Vision's betrayal of Seth was actually Roman's idea that he pitched to Paul Heyman weeks ago, expose why this new Shield isn't about brotherhood but about control, with Roman using Seth's desperation and vulnerability to rebuild his empire, and show you the backstage footage of Seth discovering he was played again by Roman but being too broken and alone to do anything except accept the toxic partnership. And before you start celebrating this as the feel-good Shield reunion everyone wanted, wait until you hear what Roman said in his private interview about viewing Seth as a useful weapon rather than a true partner, and why this reunion is destined to end in an even more devastating betrayal. Let's start with the Vision's attack on Seth, because understanding how they destroyed him is crucial to understanding why Seth was vulnerable enough to accept Roman's terms for a Shield reunion. Monday Night Raw featured Seth Rollins in a singles match against a mid-card opponent, nothing special, just Seth working his way back up after weeks of being tormented by the Vision. Seth won the match cleanly, celebrating with the crowd, looking like maybe he was finding solid ground again. That's when Bron Breakker's music hit. The new undisputed leader of the Vision, after betraying Bronson Reed, walked out with Paul Heyman, and the smirk on Bron's face told you everything. This wasn't a friendly visit. Bron grabbed a microphone at Seth Rollins. You've been a thorn in the Vision's side for too long. You've cost us matches. You've interfered in our business. You've disrespected everything we stand for. So tonight, we're sending a message. Before Seth could even respond, Bronson Reed's music hit. Despite being kicked out of the Vision, Bronson apparently still had one more job to do. Then Brock Lesnar appeared. The crowd was confused, because why would Bronson help the Vision after Bron betrayed him? But the answer became clear when Paul Heyman revealed, Bronson, despite your removal from the Vision, has agreed to participate in this final assault on Seth Rollins in exchange for future considerations. Business is business. Question for the comments: did you ever believe the Shield reunion would actually happen, or did you think it was just teasing? Be honest. Seth was now facing three monsters with no backup, no allies, and no escape. He tried to fight back. Credit to Seth, he went down swinging. He super kicked Bron. He tried to hit Brock with a pedigree. He even managed to knock Bronson out of the ring temporarily. But numbers eventually overwhelmed even the toughest fighter. Brock hit Seth with an F5. Bron followed with his devastating spear. Bronson climbed to the top rope and delivered his tsunami splash that looked like it crushed Seth's internal organs. The assault continued for nearly 5 minutes, an eternity in wrestling terms. Security couldn't stop them. Referees were powerless. The Vision was making an example of Seth Rollins, showing everyone what happens when you oppose them. The final image was haunting Seth lying motionless in the ring, three monsters standing over him, Paul Heyman declaring this is what happens to those who refuse to acknowledge their place in the New World Order. Seth Rollins has been eliminated. Medical staff rushed the ring. Seth was stretchered out. The announcers were selling this as potentially career-ending. WWE posted updates on social media about Seth's condition, possible broken ribs, internal injuries, concussion protocol. Everything pointed to Seth being written off TV for an extended period. But then, 30 minutes later in the show, something unexpected happened. The camera cut to a parking lot area where an SUV with tinted windows pulled up. The driver's door opened, and out stepped Roman Reigns. The crowd reaction was massive, a mixture of cheers for Roman being back and confusion about why he was there on this night after weeks of absence. Roman walked with purpose through the backstage area, heading directly toward the medical facility where Seth was being treated. Cameras followed but kept a respectful distance. Roman entered the room where Seth was lying on an examination table, clearly in pain, his ribs taped up, holding an ice pack to his head. The door closed behind Roman, but audio equipment captured their conversation. Whether WWE intended this or someone leaked it is unclear. What was said in that room changes everything about this Shield reunion. Drop your comment now. What do you think Roman said to Seth in that medical room? Give me your theory before I reveal the truth. Roman's voice was calm, almost gentle. Seth, I know you probably don't want to see me right now. I know you think I've been playing games with you for months. And honestly, you're right. I have been playing games. I did plan to eventually betray you after we dealt with the Vision. Everything I said in that interview about using you as a weapon, that was true. Seth, despite his pain, managed to say, then what the hell are you doing here, Roman? Come to gloat? Come to finish what the Vision started. Roman's response was calculated. No. I'm here because I just watched 3 men do to you what I did to you back in 2014 when I ended the Shield with that ambulance attack. And watching it happen to someone else, watching you get destroyed by a faction that's trying to do what the Bloodline did but worse, it made me realize something. Realize what? Seth asked, suspicious. That the Shield was never about me or you or Dean individually. It was about what we represented together. It was about being unstoppable as a unit. And right now, you need that unit back. You can't fight the Vision alone, you just proved that. And honestly, as much as I hate admitting it, I can't accomplish what I want to accomplish in WWE without someone I can trust to have my back. Even if that trust is complicated and messy and built on years of betrayal. Seth was silent, processing this. Roman continued, so here's what I'm proposing, we reform the Shield. Not with Dean, he made his choice to stay in AEW. But you and me. We put aside our issues temporarily to destroy the Vision. We become the counterbalance to their dominance. We remind everyone why the Shield was the most feared faction in WWE history. And when the Vision is dealt with, when they're broken and gone, then we can go back to our issues and settle them however we need to. Why should I trust you? Seth asked, the core question that everyone watching wanted answered. Roman's answer was brutally honest, you shouldn't trust me. You should assume I'm going to betray you eventually because I probably will. But right now, you don't have choices, Seth. You're broken, alone, and targeted by the most dangerous faction in WWE. You can either accept my help and have a chance at survival and revenge, or you can refuse my help and end up dead in this business. So what's it going to be? The moral calculation was terrible for Seth. Accept help from someone who admitted they'll probably betray you eventually, or face the Vision alone and get destroyed. That's not really a choice, it's a trap. But Seth, in his desperate condition, made the only decision he could. Fine, we reform the Shield. But Roman? When you do betray me, and you're right, you probably will, I'm going to be ready this time. I'm not the same naive kid you destroyed in 2014. So if we're doing this, understand that it's mutual distrust, mutual use, and mutual acknowledgement that this ends badly. Roman actually smiled at that response. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. Because a Shield built on lies and manipulation is more dangerous than a Shield built on blind trust. Let's go remind the Vision why you should never underestimate the hounds of justice. What's your take on this reunion? Is it genius or terrible storytelling? Drop your detailed opinion. The 2 men shook hands, not warmly, but with the grip of people who are entering a business arrangement they both know is temporary and probably toxic. Roman helped Seth off the examination table, and together they walked out of the medical facility and toward the arena entrance. What happened next was one of the most iconic moments in Raw history. The show was in its final segment, with Paul Heyman and the Vision in the ring celebrating their destruction of Seth Rollins. Heyman was cutting a victory promo, and now, with Seth Rollins eliminated, there is no one left who can challenge the Vision's dominance. We are unstoppable. We are inevitable. We are the lights cut out. Complete darkness. The crowd knew something was happening but didn't know what. 10 seconds of darkness. Then a single spotlight illuminated the entrance ramp, and Roman Reigns walked out, but he wasn't alone. Next to him, limping but determined, was Seth Rollins. The crowd reaction was nuclear. People were screaming, "The Shield! Shield! Shield!" Chants started immediately and didn't stop for the next 5 minutes. This was the reunion everyone had wanted but thought would never happen given the bad blood between Roman and Seth. Roman and Seth walked down the ramp together, both wearing black tactical gear reminiscent of the Shield's original look but updated for 2025. They weren't coming through the crowd like the old days, they were walking down the ramp like equals making a statement. The symbolism of Seth, despite his injuries, walking alongside Roman showed incredible resilience and determination. They climbed into the ring, and the Vision, Bron, Brock, and even Bronson, who was still at ringside, backed into defensive positions. Even they recognized the threat of Roman and Seth together. Paul Heyman looked genuinely worried for the first time in months. Roman grabbed a microphone. "You thought you could eliminate Seth Rollins? You thought you could break him? All you did was remind him, and remind me, why the Shield exists. We are the response to factions like yours. We are the counter to dominance built on fear and numbers. And now we're coming for all of you." Seth took the microphone, still clearly in pain but speaking with intensity. "The Vision wanted to send a message by destroying me. Well, here's our message: the Shield is back, and we're going to systematically dismantle everything you've built. Bron, you wanted to be the face of this faction? We're going to break your face. Brock, you thought you were the final boss? We're going to prove you're just another obstacle. And Paul, you manipulated all of this, pulled all the strings? We're going to cut those strings and watch your empire collapse." Roman added, "At the next premium live event, it's going to be Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins versus any 2 members of the Vision you want to put forward. And we're going to show you the difference between a faction built on manipulation and a faction built on survival. Because the Shield doesn't exist because we like each other, the Shield exists because we need each other. And that need makes us dangerous. The stare down between the Shield and the Vision was absolutely electric. Neither side backed down. The show ended with that visual Roman and Seth standing united in the ring while the Vision surrounded them at ringside, everyone knowing that we were heading toward an epic confrontation. But here's where the story gets darker and more complex. After Raw went off the air, backstage footage shows Roman and Seth in a private conversation where the reality of their reunion becomes clearer. Seth, so when are you planning to betray me? Might as well tell me now so I can prepare. Roman, surprisingly honest after the Vision is dealt with. Maybe at WrestleMania if the timing's right. Maybe sooner if you give me a reason. But Seth, here's what you need to understand, I'm not hiding the fact that I'll probably turn on you eventually. That's what makes this work. You knowing I'm a threat keeps you sharp. You watching your back around me keeps you aware. A paranoid Shield is a lethal shield. Seth shook his head, you're insane, you know that? We're literally forming a partnership where we both acknowledge it's going to end in betrayal, and somehow we're supposed to function as a unit. Roman, we'll function because we have to. Because the Vision will destroy us individually but we can destroy them together. This isn't about friendship, Seth. This is about survival and revenge. And when those are your motivations, you can work with anyone. Do you think Seth is stupid for accepting this partnership, or is he making the smartest move possible given his situation? Tell me. The leaked text messages I mentioned at the beginning provide even more context. According to someone who had access to Roman's phone, unclear if this was an inside leak or a hack, Roman has been texting with Paul Heyman for weeks about orchestrating Seth's downfall specifically to make him desperate enough to accept a Shield reunion. One text from 3 weeks ago allegedly reads, Paul, I need the Vision to take out Seth but not too badly. Injured enough to be desperate, not injured enough to be unable to wrestle. Can you make that happen? Heyman's response, consider it done. But understand that if Seth figures out you orchestrated his attack, any trust between you is permanently destroyed. Roman, there's no trust anyway. That's the point. Seth knows I'm using him. I know he's using me. We're honest about the dishonesty. That's what makes this different from the original Shield. Another text from 2 weeks ago, the Vision attack is scheduled for next Monday. Make sure it looks brutal but Seth can still work the reunion angle immediately after. This is manipulation on a level that's honestly impressive in its cold calculation. Roman didn't just allow Seth to get attacked, he arranged it specifically to create the conditions for a Shield reunion that he controls. The question everyone's asking is, did Seth know? Some people theorize that Seth is also playing Roman, that Seth figured out he was being manipulated and decided to go along with it while planning his own betrayal. Others think Seth is genuinely desperate and doesn't realize how thoroughly he's been played. The truth is probably somewhere in the middle. Seth is smart enough to suspect Roman's involvement but desperate enough that he doesn't care because he needs the help regardless of the ulterior motives. The wrestling internet has been divided on the Shield reunion team. This is awesome, fans who are just happy to see Roman and Seth together again, who think the complications make it more interesting, who believe this creates incredible storytelling opportunities. Team, this is terrible, fans who think WWE is cheapening the Shield legacy by doing a reunion built on admitted lies and planned betrayal, who wanted a genuine reconciliation rather than a toxic partnership. Team, wait and see, fans who acknowledge the problematic elements but want to see where WWE takes this before judging it. I'm personally in the this is complicated but interesting camp. Yes, it's uncomfortable watching a partnership form where both sides acknowledge it's built on distrust. But that discomfort is what makes it compelling. This isn't a nostalgic feel-good reunion, it's a dark, twisted version of the Shield that reflects how much Roman and Seth have changed since 2012. The match at the premium live event Roman and Seth vs. 2 Vision members is going to be fascinating. The dynamics of Roman and Seth working together while knowing one will eventually betray the other creates incredible psychology. Every tag will be analyzed, is that a genuine tag or setting up betrayal? Every save will be questioned, is that protecting your partner or protecting your investment? What 2 Vision members should face the Shield? Braun and Brock? Braun and Bronson? Give me your ideal matchup. The long-term trajectory probably involves Shield successfully defeats the Vision after several months of warfare. Roman and Seth have a brief period where it seems like maybe they've built genuine trust. Roman betrays Seth at a major show, probably WrestleMania. Seth gets his revenge at the next major show. Both men emerge as top single stars who've proven they can succeed with or without each other. That's classic wrestling storytelling. Form the alliance, achieve the goal, destroy the alliance, settle the score. It works if executed properly. The addition of a third Shield member is still possible but seems unlikely given Dean Ambrose's AEW commitments. However, WWE could surprise everyone by having GUSO join as the new generation Shield member. Recruiting someone unexpected like Cody Rhodes who has his own Vision problems. Keeping it as just a duo to emphasize the incomplete nature of the Shield. The Brock Lesnar factor is also huge. Brock facing the reunited Shield creates dream match scenarios. Brock has history with both Roman and Seth. A match where Brock faces both of them simultaneously would be a WrestleMania-level attraction. Make sure you're subscribed to Wrestling Newsletter because this Shield reunion storyline is going to dominate WWE for months. Hit that like button, share this with everyone who needs to understand that this isn't a feel-good reunion but a toxic partnership built on admitted distrust, and tell me in the comments, will Roman betray Seth first, or will Seth betray Roman first? Or will they somehow actually build genuine trust? Hashtag Toxic Shield or hashtag Real Shield? Let me know. Seth Rollins reunited with Roman Reigns and reformed the Shield after the Vision's brutal betrayal on Raw. But this isn't the Brotherhood of 2012. This is a calculated alliance where both men admit they'll probably betray each other eventually. Roman orchestrated Seth's attack to make him desperate. Seth accepted the partnership knowing he's being used. They're honest about their dishonesty. They're partnered through necessity, not affection. And somehow, that makes them more dangerous than ever because a Shield with nothing to lose is a Shield that will do anything to destroy their enemies. The Vision wanted to eliminate Seth Rollins. Instead, they created the most dangerous version of the Shield, one built on survival, revenge, and mutual manipulation. The Hounds of Justice are back. But this time, they're hunting each other as much as they're hunting their enemies.